Okay, it's been a little while. Let's do a catch up on Bitcoin price action. We're looking here at the monthly charts. And the last two video analyses I did, the first one was looking more at the things we'd be looking at if price were to go down. The second one, a few days later, I don't remember exactly, was looking at the what would be want to see if price were to go up. Um, Not much has changed dramatically, although I do think we may be closer to going back down, um, which is should not be a surprise if you were following along the videos the last weeks and months. This is now a weekly candle here. And this weekly candle closes in 10 hours and 20 minutes. So a lot could change still. And maybe I should record this tomorrow, but I just wanted to get it done now. Um, so again, what we see here is that the week of November 17th, price came down, took out below this BISI over here, this weekly BISI. We came down through the level that I had drawn over here, the intermediate term low there, which is on a daily level. We can see it more clearly perhaps there. Um, and actually it looks a little, something looks a little off there. Yeah, it's off. That's better. I must have gotten moved. And then we took out the level, we entered the order block, the weekly order block from below 86,084. That's these down close candles. When we closed above it, it becomes a bullish order block. So we came into it, and so excuse me. And so far, we respected it. Um, question is if we'll continue to respect it. And the video with the more bearish scenario, where I was looking at what would happen if what I would expect to see if we were going lower. I said that I think it's highly likely that we will take out the November low over here before going even lower or curling back and going higher. And so, that's definitely possible. I don't know 100%, obviously, never know 100%. But well, as we get down to the daily time frame, things will get a little clearer. I'm not going to repeat a lot of what I said already in the last couple of videos. You can go and see that. But in terms of this intermediate term range here, from this low to the all-time high, um, we are just above equilibrium, the midpoint in the range, and we're looks like there's a good chance we're going to head back into discount of that range. This is equilibrium of the full range, back from the low of 2022 of about $15,000 and change up to the all-time high. Whether we're going to go into discount of this range or not is I talked about in the last couple of videos. So you can go back there. Down to the daily time frame, and let's just look over here. Keep this brief today. Like I said, I'm not going to repeat things that I did the last couple of videos. So we see signs of bullishness and signs of bearishness. We see that we put in this high, which was essentially relatively equal with this, the prior high. Then we came back down here, went into this bullish rejection block here, and then rejected off of that, came up higher, took out liquidity above those relatively equal highs, took out liquidity above this daily high, and then came back down into this BISI over here, which was we closed below it, but then came back, so making that a bullish reclaimed BISI. Came back down, found support on the midpoint of that. Look at that, right? See that? That's came back down, body stayed above the consequent encroachment. That's the midpoint of this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. Just slightly open below there on the line. We're respecting this BISI for the most part. Came back up, took out liquidity above these relatively equal highs. Notice how the later high was not as high as that one because the market is engineering liquidity above there to come back and take it out. Now we see that's been done over here. So, but it's not always going to come back right away. It could be that it'll come back in weeks or months. We don't know. It may not be in a few more days of just climbing back up, although it might be. So over here we have a SIBI, a sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, which I'm sorry, this is a BISI. Then we closed it down below it, came above, and then closed below it again. So it is a bearish inversion fair value gap at this point, and we've respected the bearishness of that. Came right, chopped sideways, came back up into it just barely, and came back down. So now we're in between a bearish PD array and a bullish PD array, and it's just not clear where we're going. So, um, perhaps we'll see more clearly after the weekly candle closes. If nothing much changes from now, then I don't know how much clearer it'll be. But, um, with Bitcoin, we really never know. You see multi-thousand-dollar moves in, a very short amount of time. This is the 4 hour, which gives us a slightly different perspective. This is that daily bearish inversion over here. We see how we've chomped around inside it. Just keep hovering around it. Over here, we are respecting the bear, respecting it as a bearish PD array. We displaced lower below these relatively equal lows, but came back higher within the 4 hour candle. So now what are we going to do next? Are we going to come down and close below this daily BISI, close below this 4 hour BISI, or are we going to maybe wick below this low here and then curl back up into this SIBI? We don't know. And actually this 4 hour should now be, I haven't updated this in a while. This should now be a SIBI, all right? Started off all the way back here as a buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. We respected it for buy side, closed below it, came up in there, respected it again for downside. Then we closed above it. And however, since then we've closed below it and respected it as bearish. So therefore now we would change this and into a bearish inversion for value gap. IFVG 4 hour, and let's make that clear. Okay, so we've also been respecting this bearish inversion for value gap. Now, there's definitely more things we could look at on the chart. Um, like there's this SIBI over here, which we've really been chomping around, spent a lot of time in. This is a this is a bearish order block that we've been spending a lot of time inside. Everything is there, so it's a matter of deciding how many details you're going to look at and how much weight to give each one. Bottom line is, as far as I can tell, we're looking weak. We're looking weak, but we're still chopping sideways, so we could go either way. Anyway, let me know what you think.